The soul to her celestial mother. Here I come again to you, my queen mamma. Today, my love of daughter toward you makes me run to the spectator of when my sweet Jesus, separating from you, goes on his way to form his apostolic life in the midst of creatures. Holy Mamma, I know that you will suffer very much. Each moment of separation from Jesus will cost you your life. And I, your child, do not want to leave you alone. I want to dry your tears, and with my company, I want to break your loneliness. And as we remain together, you will continue to give me your beautiful lessons on the divine will. The lesson of the Queen of Heaven. My dearest child, your company will be very pleasing to me, because in you I will feel the first gift that Jesus gives me, a gift made of pure love, produced by his sacrifice and mine, a gift which will cost me the life of my son. Now, pay attention to me and listen. Hear, my child, a life of sorrow, of loneliness, and of long separations from my highest good, Jesus, begins for your mama. His hidden life is ended, and he feels the irresistible need of love to go out in public, to make himself known, and to go in search of man, lost in the maze of his will and prey to all evils. Dear Saint Joseph had already died. Jesus was leaving, and I remained alone in the little house. When my beloved Jesus asked me for the obedience to leave, because he did nothing without first telling me, I felt a blow in my heart. But knowing that that was the supreme will, immediately I pronounced my fiat. I did not hesitate one instant, and between my fiat and the fiat of my son, we separated. In the ardor of our love, he blessed me, and he left me. I accompanied him with my gaze while I could, and then withdrawing, I abandoned myself in that divine will, which was my life. But oh, power of the divine fiat! This holy will never let me lose sight of my son, nor did he lose me. On the contrary, I felt his heartbeat in mine, and Jesus felt mine in his. Dear child, I had received my son from the divine will, and whatever this holy will gives is not subject either to ending or to suffering separation. Its gifts are permanent and eternal. Therefore, my son was mine. No one could take him away from me. Neither death, nor sorrow, nor separation, because the divine will had given him to me. So our separation was the appearance, but in reality, we were fused together more so, since one was the will that animated us. How could we separate? Now, you must know that the light of the divine will allowed me to see how badly and with how much ingratitude they treated my son. He directed his step towards Jerusalem. His first visit was to the Holy Temple, in which he began the series of his preachings. But sorrow, his word, full of life, bearer of peace, of love, and of order, was misinterpreted and badly listened to, especially by the erudite and the learned of those times. And when my son said that he was the Son of God, the Word of the Father, the one who had come to save them, They took such offense that they wanted to devour him with their furious gazes. Oh, how my beloved good Jesus suffered. His creative word rejected, made him feel the death which he gave to his divine word, which they gave to his divine word. And I was all attention, all eyes, in looking at that divine heart bleeding. And I offered him my maternal heart to receive the same wounds, to console him, and to give him support when he was about to succumb. Oh, how many times, after imparting his word, I saw him forgotten by all, without anyone who would offer him a refreshment, alone, alone, outside of the city walls, outside under the vault of the starry heavens, leaning on a tree, crying and praying for the salvation of all. And I, your mamma, dear child, cried with him from my little house. And in that light of the divine fiat, I sent him my tears as refreshment, my chaste embraces and my kisses as comfort. But in seeing himself rejected by the great, the learned, my beloved son did not stop, nor could he stop. His love ran because he wanted souls. So he surrounded himself with the poor, the afflicted, the sick, the lame, the blind, the mute, and with many other maladies by which the poor creatures were oppressed. All of them images of the many evils which the human will had produced in them. And dear Jesus healed everyone. He consoled and instructed everyone. So he became the friend, the father, the doctor, the teacher of the poor. My child, it can be said that the poor shepherds were the ones who received him with their visits at his birth, and the poor are those who follow him in the last years of his life down here, on to his death. In fact, the poor, the ignorant, are more simple, less attached to their own judgment, and therefore they are more favored, more blessed, and preferred by my dear son. So much so that he chose poor fishermen as apostles, as pillars of the future church. Now, dearest child, if I wanted to tell you what my son and I did and suffered during these 3 years of his public life, I would be too long. What I recommend to you is that in everything you may do and suffer, your first and last act be the divine fiat. In the fiat, I separated from my son, and the fiat gave me the strength to make the sacrifice. In the same way, you will find strength for everything, even in the pains that cost you your life. If you enclose everything in the eternal fiat, therefore, give your word to your mama, that you will let yourself be found always in the divine will. In this way, you too will feel the inseparability from me and from our highest good, Jesus. The soul. Most sweet Mama, how I compassionate you in seeing you suffer so much. Oh, please, I pray you, pour your tears and those of Jesus into my soul to reorder it and enclose it in the divine fiat. Little sacrifice. Today, to honor me, you will give me all your pains as company to my loneliness. And in each pain, you will place an I love you for me and for your Jesus to repair for those who do not want to listen to the teachings of Jesus. Ending prayer. Divine Mama, may your word and that of Jesus descend into my heart and form in me the kingdom of the divine will. Amen.